Well, 126 interviews with 97 employees, and still apparently no closer to identifying the person responsible for leaking the opinion that overturned Roe versus Wade. That leak, published by Politico last May, weeks before the decision would become public. The Supreme Court calling it one of the worst betrayals of trust in history. Now, what we've learned from the just released 20-page report on the investigation is the determination it was an inside job, only fueling more distrust in the nation's highest court. Attorney and legal analyst Dina Dahl joins us live. Dina, thanks for being here. So, Dina, why would the Supreme Court release this report basically saying they are still looking for the person who's responsible when just days ago there was reporting that investigators had narrowed down their list of suspects to just a few individuals?
It is possible because of the fact that that came out earlier. They wanted to very quickly give their final report. It did sound in the report that they did take kind of extra investigative actions towards certain people that they said kind of social media had pinpointed, but that those people were also cleared. So probably because of that earlier kind of more unauthorized reporting, I imagine they wanted to release this report to show their full findings, which is essentially they did not find who the leaker is.
So Dina, is there a chance that we will never know who actually leaked this?
I think we will never know. And really, the report shows that the security was kind of really lax. That there's more of like an understanding that they're professional, ethical, has really what has safeguarded the leaks in the past. That there are quite a bit of kind of security gaps that the Supreme Court kind of system employs to kind of protect itself from leaks in the first place. And then never mind the fact that there was a lot of working from home during the pandemic, which also made it kind of more easy to leak all these things. And that's what the report pointed to, that these kind of inherent security gaps in the system there will mean that they will probably never find out who leaked this.
We hate to hear that, that there are security gaps. But, we did get more of a description of what went into this investigation. Interviews, 126 of them, examining connections between court employees and reporters, following up on social media speculation. But all of it led to nothing. The leak happened, a reporter got their hands on it, it became public. How has this person not been found?
Well, it's interesting because, as you said, they did quite a bit of interviews. They don't say if they actually interviewed the 9 justices under penalty of perjury. They just say employees, which could mean that they included the justices. But it's a little interesting that they don't specify that in particular. But they do say that all these interviews were done under penalty of perjury. They also say that they did forensic evidence of court-issued devices for certain employees as warranted. But they do say that the printers, that there was quite a bit of printers, like 10s and 20s and 40s of printers that weren't connected to a network log. And so only saved like the last 60 prints. So they really couldn't even determine what was printed out of quite a number of these Supreme Court printers. And that was, I think, part of what they were saying about these kind of security gaps, this inability to really do the kind of forensic evidence that maybe you would think is possible in an investigation like this.
And transparency has come up time and time again. Has this whole process been transparent enough?
Yeah, that is a really great point, and probably not. And I think this, hopefully, not only will this investigation, unfortunately they couldn't find the leaker, but maybe they will be able to fix these kind of security gaps, because it is, this is our third branch of government. The Supreme Court is very powerful. And the fact that they had these gaps, not only maybe are they susceptible to what just happened, but hacks. They do say that they don't think that there was a hack, but maybe this will prevent one in the future. They certainly need to maybe be a little bit more professional and more secure in their business practices.
Yeah, and we'll see, whether or not we actually find out who is responsible. All right, Dina, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.